What's up guys, Omni here. You guys know how it goes, another day, another video. Last night I tweeted I sleep. What recent news, topic, tweets, videos you want me to talk about tomorrow? Hey guys, today is Tuesday, August 27th, and yes, nothing out of the normal is happening in today's video. In fact, I'm recording this video just after watching the Nintendo Direct, which was also combined with the showcase for the Nintendo Indies. Okay, I'll tell you all the games that dropped in case you missed it, and yeah, let's just jump into today's news. Now, before we get started guys, we have a very hype announcement, okay? Sonic 3, the trailer officially dropped as of this morning, okay? And it was absolutely peak. We watched it on Twitch live for the first time, and holy moly. If you guys don't know, Sonic 3, the third movie of the franchise starring, Sonic and Knuckles and Tails, and now this time Shadow, another freaking hedgehog who's super edgy, except for he's way more edgier than Knuckles. Voiced by Keanu Reeves, essentially just being John Wick, but in Sonic form. You kind of either know him or you don't. He rollerblades. Faker. Yeah, Faker. It's Shadow. It was very hype. I literally cannot play it. I'm like 10,000% sure that if I record myself reacting to this with you guys, that I will get ejectocito cuzzled by, I don't know, who's it, Paramount, whoever owns these guys. But I'll show you a couple of the freeze frames you got here. Sonic and Tails is in his little cute little helmet, looking really cute, riding on the helicopter. That whole bromance is still there. You got Sonic and Tails and Knuckles all here to face the evil that is Shadow. Shadow's kind of like Mewtwo from Pokemon, except for, there's somebody that he cares. He's also kind of mixed with like Miriam from like Hunter x Hunter. Like there's like one person that he likes and everyone else like sucks essentially, and goes through this bad boy era phase because he couldn't, I think her name is Maria or something like that. But yeah, all three of them have to fight literally one dude. Keanu Reeves voices Shadow the Hedgehog, but to no one's surprise, he actually does not talk much. Well, in this trailer, he doesn't. In the actual Sonic games, he has a lot to say to Sonic, calling him a faker and like, you're just a fake hedgehog. You're not really me, because Knuckles isn't a hedgehog. He's an echidna. This is another Sonic. So, he's like, you are me, but not me. Anyway, this is Idris Elba. Okay, Knuckles, within 2 seconds of trying to fight Shadow, and he's already screaming like a little girl. Like, just literally just gets chopped. 2 seconds later, Shadow uses his hacks, and he freaking dive kicks Tails out of the picture from behind. Like, food dive. And then he teleports Sonic up to the top of the world. It looks like Tokyo, and then just hits him with the meanest rock bottom I have ever seen. They get totally annihilated. So the gang has to go, and they have to get help from Dr. Robotnik. And, he gets his hair cut and everything. Jim Carrey being Dr. Robotnik looks good. Shadow is absolutely terrifying, and that's the premise of the movie. So yeah, I'm really excited to watch this. You guys know there will probably be another trailer where they kind of showcase more of Shadow like talking, because you barely get to hear Keanu Reeves at all. So when that comes out, I'll let you guys know. Okay, DMV, we finally have to address this. Okay, I am a DMV resident. I've lived here my entire life. For those of you guys don't know who are outside of the DMV resident, I'm not talking about the car service where you go and get your license and you sit there forever. The DMV in this area stands for DC, Maryland, Virginia, kind of like a tri-state, unity here, the Zelda. Yeah, I don't know if other states have that actually, like regions that make up like 3 or 4 different states or whatever, but that's the DMV here. It's all kind of the same because there's a small circle where they almost all interlap. So you kind of count that area specifically as kind of one region, even though you're always going in and out of like at least 3 different states. So Keith Lee, he paid a visit to the DMV. Keith Lee says he visited about 12 restaurants in DC area, but made a personal decision not to post most of them. That means it was bad. And he doesn't feel his videos will be quote unquote constructive. So I'm going to watch this clip with you guys, but Keith Lee in my area and telling me that the food in the DC area is bad. I gotta stand up for my people. I gotta stand up for my region. Okay. Keith Lee can't be coming up in here and showing, I gotta see what he did, man. He might have had some bad references. He had come to me. I would have let him know all the good spots, but it sounds like he took recommendations from somebody else and they took him to all the garbage doo-doo spots, right? Because I know all the non-garbage doo-doo spots. DC can be a hit or a miss. You can walk into a place, there's liquor stores everywhere, there's drinks, there's bars, there's clubs, there's alcohol all over the place. So sometimes finding food that doesn't have you always trying to buy liquor can be pretty hard in the DC DMV type area. But if you're like me, you lived here your entire life and you are a foodie, then I can tell you everywhere that you need to go to try out all of the cuisines that are offered, and not just crabs, by the way, but including crabs, but not just crabs.
Me and my family are still in the DMV. and there's a few things I want to talk about. So let's talk about it. I know we only posted about 3 spots from Washington, but we went to about 12, and we made a decision as a family and as a team, and also a personal decision to not post most of them. So out of those 12, I probably only got like 1 or 2 more that I'm gonna post. And the reason for that, a lot of those videos, in my opinion, aren't constructive at all. And before the narrative start, I'm gonna show a few clips of the places that we did go to. And again, I don't think they're constructive. So for privacy of the restaurants that we went to, I'm not gonna say what restaurant it is.
Okay, so Keith Lee is basically saying, I went to at least 12 places, and I don't have anything constructive to say about any of them because it's that bad. Constructive is just the nice way of Keith Lee of saying, I'm not gonna put your place on the spot. I'm just not going to highlight it as a bad area and say this place is garbage, because he doesn't want the drama where he's visited other states. You know, when imagine that he's so influential that if he says your place is good, you'll be booming. You'll be banging. And if he says your place sucks, you might go out of business. Like, that's how terrifying this guy is in terms of his influence, which sucks now, right? Because now he can't be like 100% honest, right? He can't, like Gordon Ramsay, go to a place and give an honest review about a place that sucks. He can't give criticism because his criticism might end lives, right? That's how big he's gotten, which kind of sucks, because as a food reviewer like Keith Lee, you want to see the good and the bad. You want to see the real truth. At least for me, I want to see the harsh truth. I want to see, hey, are these places bad? Yes or no? And if so, why? Because that's the only way you're going to probably get better. But again, I guess because his review comes with such power, with great power comes great influence, a great responsibility. Yeah, sorry, I messed that up. Sorry, Spider-Man fans. But yeah, like, I don't know. I'm conflicted. I want unfiltered, but I also don't want him to end careers. But it sounds like this is code for, yes, I went to a bunch of places and they sucked, and I'm just not gonna like highlight how bad they were.
I'm gonna just show you a little bit of our personal experience. It's the whiting with the sweet potatoes and mac and cheese. Unfortunately, I won't be trying any of it. As always, I ain't trying to be rude, I'm gonna just be honest. The smell of this, insane. This perforated the whole car immediately. So much so that my family went back in and asked if they fried it in the same grease that they did the shellfish. And come to find out, they do. And it smelled like it. It smells like shellfish. It smells like frozen fish. It smells like fish.
Ew, show me the receipt. Nah, bro. Somebody triangulate where he is right now and find out this place. Triangulate the background, okay? These people need to be exposed. If you frying the same stuff that you eating in the same sauce of other foods, nah, bro. That's cross-contamination. That's absolutely nah. I mean, it can work, but it doesn't sound like it's working here.
It smells almost unedible, in my opinion.
Damn.
I don't want no smoke.
Spit it in there.
Somebody gonna triangulate. I know where he is.
Service experience, in my opinion, and in my family's opinion, was completely unprofessional. It said on the IG that they opened at 1 o'clock. The truck didn't open up until 2:15. It took about 45 minutes. When they went back to go get the food, they saw her preparing it. No gloves, no washing hands, grabbing money, grabbing strawberries, grabbing Fruity Pebbles, putting it on top of our food.
Grabbing Fruity Pebbles, grabbing money. I mean, well, I'm gonna be for real. If the food is good enough, you can, I'm sorry, watch my language, cut that one out. You can freaking pick your nose, right? And you can add it as seasoning. I don't care. Added protein, right? That food banging, I'll ignore, right? But if you out here being nasty, your food better be 15 out of 10. It better be crack cocaine in there. That because I know how some people are. Like, I've been around soul food places. I see people kind of do things, touch things that they're not supposed to do, but you kind of ignore it because the food is so good. You want to be hygienic, okay? Just be frank. You want to be hygienic with your food, and that will definitely turn off anybody, for real, for real. But sometimes you ignore. You might go to a spot, it's not that clean. Maybe there's flies around it. Maybe it's kind of like, you know, maybe there's a smell or something. But when the food is so good, like the mom and pop store, you're just like, whatever. Just give me the food. I'm gonna eat it because I know it's the best. You don't need to have the best ambiance, you know, the best clean place kind of things. People will excuse it if the food is good enough. So it sounds like the food was not good enough.
Chicken tastes weird.
Chicken tastes weird. I recognize that box.
It's because a lot of the restaurants we've been recommended since we've been here look like this.
Ooh. Ooh, brother. Ooh. Ooh.
Target audience just based on the pictures.
Ooh. Where is he? Is this man under a bridge? Of course you're not going to get food if you out here under bridges going to food trucks. Who sabotaged this man? Somebody who lives from a different region sabotaged this man and told him to go under a bridge to go get some food. Come on, Keith. Keith, are you watching this? Bro, I can show you the world, bro. Just like Aladdin. I can show you the world. Take you wonder by wonder. I can show you seafood. I can show you American food. I can show you all the Asian cuisines all around there. I can show you the mom and pops. I can show you the Michelin stars. Okay, this is why I exist. I exist to eat. And if you really want that experience, brother, hit me up. I'm still in the area. Say what's up. I will cleanse your palate. Okay, I will make a believer out of you. But whoever you're listening to right now, I'm upset. Expose them. Tell me who they are so I can call them for the fraud that they are. Footage from a personal vlog camera.
And I did have a question. Do you guys have running water?
Running water?
Point to lie. We just out here eating food, praying, staying with our families, minding our business. We also went to a lot of places that were recommended. That's one thing that I really want to make clear in this video, is that we went to places that were recommended and we did a lot of research. We've been here for a week, and every day since we've been here, we've been in a Sprinter for at least 10 hours a day, just going around trying food, driving an hour to each spot. And since we've been here, we've been blessed enough to sow $30,000 to various restaurants around the DMV. So I don't appreciate it, and I don't think it's fair that we getting criticized for not doing research or not going to a lot of restaurants in DC or the DMV area. I've noticed how the media has been pushing since we've been here. A lot of media outlets picked up on the fact that I said restaurants out here, in my opinion, tend to lean towards promoting alcohol more than they promote food.
That's true.
That's been headlines more than us being in an actual city and being blessed enough to touch the people that we touch.
Okay.
A lot of people that was extremely nice. We even went to a comedy show.
So my man is trying to go to the community. That's what I'm trying to say. So there's a difference. If you want to go to DC, you want to be fancy, pinkies up, right? Hit up some of those places that are owned by rich people that have been in there for a long time, right? 4 or 5 stars on Yelp, usually pricier as well, right? You can hit those places up and you can have some good food. And I know about those places as well. But Keith is about the community. He's about uplifting small businesses. Occasionally he'll go and tread and hit up some of the bigger businesses as well. And sometimes he'll have bad experiences with that. But it sounds like Keith is trying to be involved with the community and uplifting to smaller businesses. So what comes with that, unfortunately, is, well, bad business. Oh, my nose. Bad business. Bad foods, right? It doesn't always work out how you like. But I get it. I see what he's trying to do. He wants to do good. Like, if he wanted to be, he could be Gordon Ramsay. He can be mean. He can be brutal. He can be honest, right? He can be the food taste tester that's just objectively letting you know if your place is good or bad. He's decided, no, I don't want to be the guy. I just want to uplift people. And if there's things that I can do that will hurt them or not make them look good, I just rather not say. That's his decision. That's his choice. That's how he wants to live his life. So I'm going to respect it. I like honesty, even when things are bad. I like it being told by, to the people so we can hear it. The negative reviews are important and I would like to hear it, but he just doesn't want to do that anymore, it sounds like.
So randomly, but that's another reason why I'm keeping most of those videos, to protect the restaurant owners, because it's not going to be constructive and it's just going to be them getting tore down. And I don't want that. Past those 12 videos, I still got about 6 or 7, and I'm going to be releasing those throughout the next couple of days.
Okay.
I appreciate y'all. God bless you. Have an amazing day. Y'all be safe.
So yeah, I mean, that's Keith Lee. So Keith Lee is basically saying, look, I'm too big. I can't talk negative because when I do, I harm. And I don't want to harm nobody. I don't want to cause no drama. I don't want to end no businesses. It sucks because, the way that he probably got big was by being honest, by giving some of the bad reviews was some of the things that probably people like. People like to see bad reviews. I like to see people react to bad food. And Keith is like, nah, I'm just not going to do that anymore because it might damage and hurt people's reputations. And Dang. But guys, pause. Have you ever been in a car accident? Because you guys know that I have, and yeah, it sucks. Especially if you get hurt, because then you got to figure out how you're going to pay for all of these expensive medical bills while trying to manage your own injuries at the same time. It's exhausting, it's tiring, but that's exactly where Morgan & Morgan comes in. Contacting a personal injury attorney should be your first step when it comes to any kind of car accident. It's a no-brainer, and it costs you nothing unless you win. You have nothing to lose, and a firm like Morgan & Morgan can quickly determine if you have a case. And when they do have a case, they don't settle for lowball offers. Morgan & Morgan have achieved significant verdicts in the past few months for victims involved in life-altering car crashes. Yours might be worth millions as well. There's no need for you to visit law offices and sit through long consultations. You can submit a claim and have a lawyer review your case with only 8 clicks on your phone. And from there, you can upload documents, medical records, and text your attorney and legal team throughout the duration of the case. LDR, you just got into a car accident and your current and future health are at stake. An instant call to Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, may be all you need to get the compensation that you deserve. If you ever got seriously injured, your case could be worth millions, and you're only a few clicks away from potentially changing your life. You can start your claim now with Morgan & Morgan at https://forthepeople.com/omni, found in the description, or by scanning the QR code on screen from your phone's camera. And again, special thanks to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring today's video. All right, one of y'all told me that my boy Gang D'Angelo Wallace was under attack, under fire, and I'm here to be like, hey, what do you mean by that? Okay, what did he do? Okay, what are you talking about? All right, that's my homie, that's my gang. If you guys don't know D'Angelo Wallace, commentary, bro. He started posting on his second channel. He's most famously known for making documentaries on some of the worst people you know, or people you thought weren't bad, and then you discovered that they were. Shane Dawson, the beauty community, Tati, Jeffree Star, Cody Cup. This man talks about all the villains, and then he goes up there and gives more information. He talks about it in a way that people enjoyed and like it, and that's D'Angelo Wallace. Apparently there's a quote retweet and a tweet here. It's got 80,000 likes. He had made a video that said, please stop. It's 2 minutes. We'll watch it in a second. But the caption saying, there's no way people are accusing D'Angelo Wallace of being complicit of the genocide in Gaza because he made a video about Starbucks downfall without mentioning the boycott? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Followed by, and if I said people treat the boycott as a gotcha more than actually pushing aid for Gaza, I'd be slapped up and down. So for those of you guys who do not know, people have been boycotting Starbucks and an active retaliation and standing in protest against what's been happening in Gaza. They're one of the many companies that people are like, just don't support them because they are basically on the side of genocide. Right? It's just that plain and simple. So people are like, off limits, don't go there. And if you do, then you support what's happening over there in Gaza.
I don't support genocide. I don't support ethnic cleansing. And I don't support the country of Israel's invasion of the Gaza Strip. People in my comments are saying I support these things because I made a video about Starbucks, and I did not mention people's ongoing efforts to boycott Starbucks as a show of solidarity for Palestine. Whenever I outline a video, I frame my research through finding a main point. This time, my main point was seeing how recent backlash against Starbucks and its CEO illustrate larger problems within the fast food industry. Specifically, the increase in prices and the mobile order first mentality that's negatively affecting the atmosphere of these establishments. Both these prices and the atmosphere are real issues that are having an impact on sales, and that is what I set out to explore in my video. People boycotting Starbucks to support Palestine is also having an effect on sales, but that was not the main point I was trying to make, and I wasn't going to use that boycott as a supporting argument for my very lighthearted video about people's frustration with fast food trends.
Okay, so I think we kind of all know what's going on here. It's the, I want to call them radical protesters, right? You could just be out here chilling, minding your business, right? And you might be like, oh yeah, Starbucks. And then someone might be like, screw Starbucks kind of thing. You're like, oh, you know, I really like their coffee or I like their croissants. And they're like, do you support what's happening in Gaza? Like, I feel like there are people out here that are radicalized, so radicalized, in fact, that they only exist to kind of try to just like shout at you from a holier than thou podium, right? Like what they stand for and what they support is in like good places. It comes from a good place, but they themselves are not good people. And they take it to the umpteenth degree, and they basically work backwards against their campaign by being such assholes about it. It's quite literally just that. The other day I saw a clip, right? Some guy was trying to drive who had nothing to do with anything. He was just trying to go somewhere, I think. And then like there was some people over here who was like, free Palestine. They're just standing in front of the car, right? And then the guy was like, can y'all please move? Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I'm stuck here, but I gotta get out of here. I can't drive over you. Like, can you please move so I can go? I'm not the opposer or the oppressor here. I'm not here to cause you any business. And people are like, recorded, right? And they just mess with these civilians and these bystanders that have nothing to do with anything. And then I saw on the same clip too as well, the guy like hit the guy's car and then broke it and then put a dent in the window, right? It's just, there are some people out here who are acting a menace and trying to, I feel like they're doing their campaign injustice, right? I understand that when it comes to protesting that you got to be loud. I get that. I get that you got to be loud. But when you're loud, obnoxious, and you're harming people who are also not, against you, then you start losing sight of what you're actually supposed to do here. And it becomes more about you and less about the issue. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. There's not everybody is like this, but there's a good amount of people in all forms and facets of life that take something and then make it about them and then impose it onto others. And it kind of hurts and chips away at what is actually trying to be attempted. It removes the plot. If you want to have a conversation, if you want people to learn, if you want to teach, if you want people to support you, being these kind of people always just has an opposite effect. It's from my experience.
That did not feel appropriate to me at the time. Please don't ascribe such extreme intentions to something that I ultimately did to try to keep the video focused. But I did make that decision, and the consequences appear to be confusion or curiosity over my beliefs. So it is very important to me to reiterate them. I don't support genocide. I don't support ethnic cleansing. I don't support the country of Israel's invasion of the Gaza Strip. These are the main things I see people accusing me of, and so I hope this could provide some clarity. This clarification isn't something I owe everyone anytime I don't mention something deeply serious in a video. My decision to talk about unserious things on my platform sometimes doesn't really say anything about my views about very serious things or my tendency to talk about them should I choose to do so. It's very jarring to be called a disgusting, disappointing, terrible human being because I made the decision to leave something out of a video. But that jarring feeling is nothing compared to the discomfort of being displaced from your own home. So I appreciate the privileges I have, and I appreciate you for giving me your time. And there is truly no simpler way to sum up my real beliefs than to just say free Palestine.
Okay, so, I have mixed reviews about this, and I think D'Angelo Wallace went the very respectable, nice way about it. This has been an issue that I've been talking to you guys when it comes to content creators and their relationships with their audience, depending on who your audience is. And then what ends up happening is this weird parasocial relationship where your audience starts talking to you more and more and more. And now you actually have to start making content based around the conversations that your audience wants you to talk about. This happened with Ludwig. This happened with Moist Critical. This happened with all the commentary people. Suddenly they're being kind of like pressured by the outside world. Pokimane, everything pressured. Hey, talk about Dr. Disrespect. Why didn't you talk about disrespect? Hey, since you didn't talk about this, does this mean you support him? Since you didn't talk about him, are you a pedophile? Like, it's like people will go from here to here. People are weaponizing either the absence of information or if you do talk about something to push their own agenda. And I don't feel like enough people are calling people out about this. Like, it's, I guess it's because the topic is as a content creator, you don't want to rustle the jimmies of your audience. You don't want to mess with the dynamic. I'm not going to sit here and point at you. The only thing I make fun about you guys is having stinky breaths, just so that you won't not have stinky breaths. Okay. But you don't want to criticize your audience because your audience just comes to you and you want to take care of them. That's fine. But at the same time, as audience people want to call out up content creators for, being held accountable kind of thing, you got to understand backwards as well. There are people out here are just trying to weaponize it in order to force creators to do things that they want them to do because that's what they feel and believe. That's just the truth of the matter. And it's not even about like wanting to hold, D'Angelo Wallace accountable. It's quite literally about wanting to manipulate him to say something that you want him to say. And That is something that's growing and becoming bigger, I think, when it comes to the YouTube space and the community spaces, especially content creators who interact with their audience. And some of you might think like, hey, the ends justify the means. You know, D'Angelo Wallace made a 2-minute video saying free Palestine. So even if I was an asshole, I got him to make this video kind of thing. So it's a net positive. But what you might end up seeing over time, as you're seeing now, content creators stepping back, stepping away, being very careful with their words, not saying things, not being truthful, not being honest, not being frank, that's going to slowly start going away. And whatever connection that you have that's on a more real level will start to disappear as content creators start feeling pressured to not be honest or feel pressured by their audience to say things or talk about things that they're not really interested in the first place. So I feel like that's kind of what's happening with D'Angelo Wallace right now. Here's what the comments had to say. Quote, he didn't mention it, therefore he fully endorses it. Is such an absolute clown take. Media literacy is seriously on the decline. D'Angelo has definitely made the stance clear before. Y'all better be sending the same hate to your local politicians. We love and appreciate you. That's definitely not happening. Performative activism needs to be called out. It's very demoralizing, alienating, and counterproductive. That's kind of what I was trying to say in a simple nutshell. Genuinely, how do people get I support genocide from Starbucks is expensive, question mark. It's disappointing that so much of the conversation around the genocide has turned into people performally yelling at others when they don't mention it in every context. Who in their right mind thinks D'Angelo not doing a deep dive into ongoing genocide in a video about coffee is hella expensive is somehow the most depraved action a human being could take. So yeah, I'm gonna just say it for you guys because D'Angelo Wallace was being super nice. Okay, so I'll come back and say it. Okay, some of y'all are out of pocket. Not all of y'all, but some of y'all are out of pocket. Okay, you recognize your influence and your power, and you're trying to get your favorite content creators to talk about the things that you want to talk about and make it about you. And if that's your prerogative, that's your prerogative, but just recognize that a lot of it has a backwards effect. Sometimes people want me to talk about things that I don't want to talk about. I have no interest in it. Is it a big deal? Sure. But I don't want to sit here and deep dive into every single, child diddler that exists on the internet every single day. Because if I did, well, then these videos would be 2 hours long every day because that's how often you guys ask me to talk about these terrible situations that exist on the internet. And then I've gotten people who take it personal if I don't talk about this. Omni, you're not talking about this? Do you support that? It's rough, and maybe it's just one of the situations that YouTubers has to face when it comes to having a back and forth conversation with their audience, right? And I think when that happens, sometimes the YouTuber in question takes a step back from having that relationship with their audience, and you start getting a little bit more commercialized, non-personal type relationships. So just be careful if you do this with your favorite content creators. Don't be surprised if they take completely 10 steps back from kind of interacting with you in that kind of way. That's how I feel about it. Let me know how you guys feel about this D'Angelo Wallace situation. So Faze Banks looks like they are homeless. The Faze house is apparently getting taken down from what I understand. Faze Banks, the CEO and founder of Faze Clan, who has recently reacquired his company after it was sold to another group of people and then reacquired and bought. I don't know. There's a lot of drama that happens around with Faze Clan in general that I'm just not going to go into. We've talked about it in the past. But more recently, Faze Banks is known for, there was a situation with a Twitch streamer. I forget his name. Can't remember his name. Sorry about that. But yeah, they showed that he had some porn, some gay porn or something like that. And I think he was in a really dark place. And I think Banks basically told him to come back from the airport, come home, and supported him. He was in a place where he's dark and he didn't feel like he might have lived. And people were like, yo, it's cool, homie. It's all right that you gay, or it's cool that you did gay porn. We don't care. You're still the homie and the bro. So right now, Faze is up, specifically Banks for his contribution to helping another life. But it looks like the Faze house might be down.
Too much to type, bro. Too much to type. Yeah, so we just officially got evicted from the crib. I told these kids, man, we're on homeowner called fucking Tav. We're figuring it out now. Griffin's calling me off the hook. You guys don't even know who these people are. Guys, I'm about to lose my mind. I was already overwhelmed and stressed before today, feeling like the wheels are falling off. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. We're trying to run this shit up with no budget, no fucking help. We have a ton of help from a ton of good people, but guys, it feels like that sometimes, man. I love these kids, but what the Max? I told these kids, this is all behind the scenes shit too, and then I come out looking like the bad guy going crazy. What the is this fool talking about? I told these kids, we're on our last strike with this crib, Okay, we're supposed to do build outs and production all week to set up for this fucking September subathon thing. What these kids wanted, right?
Yes, you are in a. It's interesting, right? Faze is known for being like this kind of energy, right? So no one's surprised when you got a bunch of Faze kids ruining shit, right? That's the energy that you bring in, bro. So, and he's saying like kids, like he's the adult, and he's just like, oh, these goddamn kids, I hate them. Once was just kind of like, you know, a member, and is now like the CEO running stuff from a parent level, essentially.
Cameras with different angles and build outs and fuck design each room. We had so many cool things planned for this shit, and it was all going to be started building out tomorrow, and we just got fully evicted from the crib.
Damn.
Effective September 1st.
Damn.
We have to be out of the crib.
That's 4 days.
This is a year lease that's broken that we paid up front. So I don't know what the fuck's good with that, but that might just be a couple hundred bands down the toilet. I'm finding out in real time, and I'm updating you guys in real time. And like I said, it's too much to type, so I don't know. I need to get the fuck off Twitter.
Yeah, you shouldn't be here, brother.
What I really need to do.
Yeah, what you doing here?
I need a break, bro.
You need a lawyer.
Any ideas? Any interns have properties in LA?
Okay.
Yeah, no. I don't know. I don't know.
All right, Banks, this is what you do. Okay, this is unsolicited advice from a fellow adult. You get the hell out of LA first, right? Go somewhere cheap. All right, you have a house where you're making content. You don't need to be in LA to make the content. All right, you don't need to. LA is falling apart anyway. If you watch YouTube videos, Steph Graham, all of these people are talking about how LA is trash and everyone's leaving it anyway. They're going to Austin, they're going to Texas, they're going to Ohio, they're going to New York, they're going to Vegas, they're going to places where you can save on taxes, right? LA, people are leaving it, trying to escape the traffic. So first of all, get the hell out of LA, because you're probably paying a premium or whatever house that you are renting and leasing out. And then go somewhere where it's super cheap and literally just get that house and then own it. Don't freaking lease it. Build your own or something like that. Like, own your shit as opposed to paying a premium for some Faze house. Just that's number one as the leader. Own your shit. Number two, fire these fucking kids. Okay, if they're out here ruining the lease, okay. Fire them, all right? That's just quite literally get it out of their pockets, charge them or something. Get a lawyer, because if you broke your lease, it sounds like someone messed something up somewhere. You need to figure out if there's any loopholes around it. Okay, maybe there's something that stops you, some state laws, whatever. You need to be calling a lawyer 10 days ago and making sure that whatever happens here, you can either get out of, or you don't have to get charged up front, or maybe you don't get evicted at all. There's certain different rules with different states, but yeah, so get out of California. But while you're still in California, you need a place to stay. Get your goddamn self a good lawyer to see if there's any way out of this. And I think that's about it. It's pretty simple, right? Get out of LA, call your lawyer, kick out the people who don't listen to you, who are causing a ruck, right? Anybody costing you money is costing you money. You don't want that. You got talent. Talent should be making you money, not costing you money. And I wouldn't forgive that if I was an owner. And then that's it. That's all you really need to do, and move on and start from scratch. That's my suggestion, Faze Banks. Good luck, homie, finding a place to live, because I don't want nobody being out the streets of being out homeless. I hear there's a lot of homeless in LA. I don't want to see Faze and the crew out there as well. And guys, last but certainly not least, I have for you guys a Nintendo Indie/Partner Direct summary of all the games and stuff that got announced, in case you were curious. I sat for it. It was a 40-minute presentation, 20 minutes of it being the Nindy showcase, and then 20 minutes of it being the Nintendo Partner Showcase. And I'll just give you a heads up. I didn't like it. I wasn't a huge fan of it. I've seen better. There's some pretty cool announcements, but there was no Silk Song, no Hollow Knight. So that one made me a big umph. I'm okay though. The last time there was no Silk Song, I felt like the Direct was really good. This time it was kind of, well, I'll let you guys tell me. So this article by The Verge by Jay Peters, he literally summarized it for us. Appreciate it, homie. Okay, the first thing that we got and we've seen, we got Sea of Stars, Throes of the Watchmaker. If you guys like Sea of Stars, it's kind of like an RPG, kind of like Chrono Trigger inspired, really cool fighting system, and you got more of it. It seems like it's a DLC, so if you liked it, you will get that. I'm not a huge fan of Sea of Stars. I tried to play it, and I felt like the story was kind of meh, and then I got kind of bored. That was just kind of me. The last announcement from the Nintendo Direct was Yakuza Kiwami coming to Nintendo Direct. Kiryu will be joining the Switch. I mean, Yakuza is goated. It's one of the greatest franchises out there from Sega. So if you have not played Yakuza, start with Yakuza 0 and then just move up to Kiwami and everything. You will have yourself a very, very good time because it's Yakuza. Either you play it and you love it, or you haven't played it and you don't know what love is. Castlevania's classic DS trilogy is coming to the Switch. That's going to be pretty cool news. A lot of people love these Castlevania games. I haven't really gotten to Castlevania. I feel like Castlevania games are the type of games that you play when you want to just lose your mind, right? You don't know where the hurt boxes are. You don't know where the hit boxes are. All the monsters look like they can just kill you with like one touch, and you're just trying to figure out how not to die. Like, it literally kind of takes away the element of what you might feel in some video games that make you really confused. But music is always banging, the vibe is always dope, and the fight with Dracula is always godlike. So a lot of people love to hear. There's going to be a collection from the DS trilogy, which includes Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, and Order of Ecclesia. Let's see what else. Civilization 7 got announced on the Switch. If you're into that Civ life, Sid Meier's 7. Capcom got this one was pretty huge, okay? Capcom Fighting Collection 2 for the Switch. I'm just going to read this one. Hot on the heels of Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, Capcom's gone back in their impressive ass vault to put another collection of classic fighting games. Capcom Fighting Collection 2 bundles together 8 games, including Capcom vs. SNK, Capcom vs. SNK 2. Okay, that's like one of the goat of goats. Okay, one of the biggest games of games. It's a sequel, and then both Power Stones. Power Stone 1 and 2 is also in this collection. If you're a fighting game, Power Stone. When I saw Power Stone, I geeked out. Power Stone used to be my favorite fighting game for the Dreamcast, right? That Power Stone, there needed to be more. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but it's like untapped potential there. Such a good fighting game, way beyond its time, but just did not get tapped into directly. You got The Sims is coming back. I was like, meh. It looked like The Sims, but kind of like chibi versions of it. I don't know. I'm just being a hater, but some of you guys might like it. It's The Sims, but I didn't hear any of them go. I didn't hear the language. It felt like a different version, but it could just be me being a hater. Suikoden. Now this one was pretty cool. Now that I kind of review back, there were some good announcements. So Suikoden 2, whatever you call it, 1 and 2 was coming out for a bundle remaster guide. And I say this very with no exaggeration, okay? Suikoden 2 might be one of the best RPGs in the entire genre of all time, okay? It's a classic. It was way ahead of its time. It's very freaking good. If you are into old school RPGs, Final Fantasy VII, Chrono Trigger, you know, the ones that came out for like Squaresoft back in the day, and Grandia, if you're really into this, Suikoden 2 is a must play. And even if I gas it up for you, I think you will still find yourself pleasantly surprised by how much it has to offer in terms of the story. The fighting is pretty addictive. I don't even remember if I played Suikoden 1, but Suikoden 2 is definitely like top 5, top 10 RPGs of all time. What else we got? Oh, date everything. There's a game where you can literally date everything. Freaking horny bastards. You can date this mic. You can date my nose. You can date the keyboard. You can date the air. You can date glass. You can date the drawer. You can date a cat. You can be Shane Dawson. You can date a vacuum cleaner. Just kind of weird. You can date Ezekiel Dredd, who was pretty hot. But yeah, this is a dating simulator where you can just literally date anything in your house. If you're really, really horny, or if you need the attention, I guess you can go play this game. But if I catch you playing this out in the streets, I'm gonna slap you across the face. It's the 40th anniversary of Tetris, so we're getting more Tetris. All the classic Tetrises are coming, okay? So everything that you can think of that'd be really cool for Tetris is coming out. I'm just gonna take off this nose, okay? It's hurting my nose. This nose is hurting my nose. What else we got? Peglin, which looked pretty cute, man. I was actually surprised. It's a game where you kind of have like a roguelite and you play pachinko. And you have to like shoot these beads into these pachinko things, blow it up, and then based on how you do it, that's how you do damage to people. It looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. But also we got Pico Park 2, which is gonna be godlike, and also Pizza Tower as well got announced. There's Balatro, which is a card game, which I probably need to play. A lot of people, I play Slay the Spire, but a lot of people say Balatro is pretty good, and I haven't touched it yet. But in the Balatro DLC, you basically get some skins. Dave the Diver, Among Us, The Witcher, and something else, Friends of Jimbo. So in case you kind of want a little bit of style to your Balatro game, there's that. There's a game out here called Morsels, which looked really weird. It looked like a game that was made by people on drugs, and then the people on drugs put some other people on drugs. It's a ride. It was crazy. I have never seen a trailer like this. I am curious. I don't even know how to explain what the game is, but it's interesting enough. It looks like a roguelike, and it's interesting enough that I kind of want to touch it. That's basically how I feel about it. I will give it its money just out of sake of pure curiosity. Let's get through the rest of this, okay? There's a Power Wash X DreamWorks Shrek simulator thing. Now you can clean Shrek's swamp. Coffee Talk. Now it has Coffee Talk in Tokyo, so you can talk about things, I guess, in Japan with the people who are originating from there. There's this game called Neva that looks really pretty. It's about this horse. It's one of those games that just look very good. You don't know what it's going to do or what it's going to be about. Kind of gives you like Ori and the Blind Forest type feels in terms of just how majestic it feels and what it's trying to capture. So yeah, it could be a hit or a miss. And that's it. That's all this article has, but I'm pretty sure there were more announcements. Was that it? All right, so this article here by IGN kind of covered some of the other areas that weren't in the other article. Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma. That was the last game announced for the partner showcase, the absolute last game, and this is going to be coming out. I can't wait for this. It's a farming game, but it's Rune Factory. Rune Factory is a very popular farming game company. They usually never miss, but if you do want to farm, if you're still trying to get that Stardew Valley vibe, you're waiting for the Haunted Chocolatier game, this will definitely fill in the gaps for you. You can fight and all that stuff as well. Five Nights at Freddy is on the Switch. In case you want to go let Verbal Ace know, he can go play it on that. Tales of Grace, F Remastered. The Tales series, a very popular RPG series. The remastered version is coming in January, in case you guys want more Tales in your life. The Tales series of RPG, I've only played a couple of them. I think the most popular one being Tales of... I can't remember, man. It's been so long. It's the one with Lloyd, though. I think that's the most popular, Lloyd Irving and the whole thing with the hot coffee. But other than that, I think the Tales games are just Tales games. They're good old RPGs with a little bit of anime classics. Sometimes repeated storylines in a way, but if you love it, you love it. And if you don't, you don't. They definitely hit you with the anime and the plot. Atelier Yumiya with a new star with a lot of plot, okay? There's just everything about her is very suggestive. It's kind of like if they wanted to make Stellar Blade, but they did like a PG version of it. It was still very suggestive, if you know what I mean, in terms of all the poses and flips and stuff. I've never actually played this series as well, but if if you're down bad and you just need some plot in your life, you need to study, then hey, bro, I won't blame you. There's a new SpongeBob game, like a SpongeBob sandbox starring Patrick, if you guys want to play that. There was also this really cool game called Fitness Boxing 3, your personal Switch coming to Switch. I didn't even know there was a Fitness Boxing 1 and 2. But if you guys don't know this about me, I box almost daily. I hit a lot of heavy bags, soft bags, do a lot of routines. I've been boxing for years and years. It's one of the best versions of cardio, from my opinion, in terms of burning calories and also building strength as well, from your arms to your shoulders to your back. I love boxing. And also, I'm a huge fan of Hajime no Ippo, obviously, because I'm into anime. That definitely started the reason why I got into there. Long story short, this looks pretty cool. If you want to stay in shape and you want to kind of get introduced into boxing, this looks like a pretty cool game to play. The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky First is a huge remake. I don't even know what this is, but a lot of people are really excited for it. Fans were stunned at the brief glimpse of remake titled Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. The first appeared briefly during a sizzle during its direct. It was so quick that many fans questioned what they were actually seeing. Yeah, I'm not sure what this is, but for the people who do know, I guess you do know. It was Goat Simulator 3, in case you want to be a goat and just do shit. Star Overdrive was a pretty interesting game with some guy riding on a snowboard and doing trips and traveling everywhere. Kind of looked like Monster Hunter kind of thing. It was interesting. I don't know what they're doing with it, but it's a Switch exclusive dropping in 2025. And there was a couple other games. Quiznier looked pretty good. A nice little roguelike with some cooking. Europa. Shovel Knight kind of got announced. Shovel of Hope DX for 2025. Pico Park 2. I can't wait to play this game again. Wobbly Life. Peglin, I've already talked about that as well. The Date Everything. The Morsels. And that's about it. That's kind of what you kind of get from, the direct here. I don't think I missed anything really important, but it was okay. Outside of the fact that there was no Hollow Knight and that there was no Silk Song. There is no Silk Song in Ba Sing Se, but it was all right. If I'm not being a hater, there's something for everybody here. RPG fans, fighting fans, farming fans, Nothing crazy. It was a partner showcase, so they weren't announcing any like crazy new games or announcements or talking about Metroid Prime 4. It was kind of like a, hey, here's some of the stuff that we're going to do, like a filler episode until they get into the big chunky wongies. I'm guessing sometime in the fall is when they'll probably release a much bigger direct, either the fall or the winter. As when we'll probably get some information on the Nintendo Switch too. I think it's going to be happening anytime now. But all right, guys, that's all for today's video. I'm gonna get out of your hair, okay? I'm gonna get this hair off of me as well. I love you guys. I'll get you on tomorrow's video. I got to get out of here though, because I got to edit this video because I started it late because I recorded and watched the stream today. All right, so I catch y'all later. If there's anything I missed, all right, come on the Twitter and let me know. I love y'all. I catch y'all later. Y'all take it easy, peace.